Hi everyone. So welcome to the live stream today. Very much excited for having you. We are in the week 8 of our discussion towards the ICAG May 2021 examination. I'm very much excited about this week because we're going to be spending some time to look at various things that we need to focus on in financial reporting and corporate reporting, and also touch on other subjects in order for us to prepare well for the examination and most importantly pass the exam. So if you are joining the stream on Facebook or on YouTube, give us a thumbs up on the video, share the video, let us reach as many students as possible. Together, let's see if we can assist a lot of students across the country, across the continent, who are preparing for the ICAG exam, the ACCA exams, doing their first degree in accounting and finance or their MBA in accounting and finance, and let's together assist a lot of students. Most importantly, I want you to put in the comment box any questions that you have for me, what you would want us to cover on the channel, what topics you would want to see more on the channel as we approach and take our channel to the next level this month and do a lot of things to assist you to prepare well for the examination. So welcome to the live stream. Smash the like button on the video. Give us a comment in the chat box. Let me know where you are watching from and what topics you would want us to cover. Most importantly, please put it in the chat box. Any questions you have for me on Facebook as well as on YouTube. I'm monitoring all of your comments, all of your messages, and I'll be replying to all of them in relation to that. So welcome to the live stream. Thank you very much on YouTube for the thumbs up on the videos. I really appreciate it. And in case you've not subscribed to the channel, also make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification icon and become a VIP member. That way, when I go live or release new content, you'll be the first person to be notified. Today, we want to go into one of the critical topics in corporate reporting and in financial reporting, and that is consolidated financial statement. Now, this is a critical and crucial area for corporate reporting and financial reporting. Whether you like it or not, there is a question waiting for you in the exam or on consolidated financial statement, and it's very important for you to understand the principles and the concepts that pertains to this topic, and that is what we want to start with today. But before I get into the day's discussion, I want to share with you quickly the Chief Examiner's report on corporate reporting and financial reporting for the ICAG November 2020 examination and share with you some thoughts in some of the things that you need to pay close attention to. Now, you remember that I keep on telling you guys that when it comes to corporate reporting and financial reporting, the backbone of it is the International Financial Reporting Standards. So in order to increase your chances of passing the financial reporting or the corporate reporting exams, you need to be strong in your accounting standards. You need to understand the principle on all of the accounting standards. Name it: IAS 2, IAS 8, IAS 12, IAS 16, IAS 20, 23, 24, IAS 36, 37, 38, IFRS 2, IFRS 5, IFRS 9, IFRS 15, IFRS 16, and all of the standards. You need to make sure that you really understand them. Now, in case you are watching on YouTube, you can check the playlist titled Accounting Standard Series, because in that playlist, I have covered a number of the standards that you need to go through, you need to understand in order for you to prepare well for your examination. So comment in the chat box any questions you have for me. Let me know where you are watching from on YouTube as well as on Facebook. And most importantly, share the video. Let's get as many students as possible joining the live stream. So on Facebook, I see Abdul Bima Mashahudu said, watching from Kumasi. Thank you very much, Abdul. Share the video. Let's reach as many students as possible. Frank Norte said, good afternoon, sir, on Facebook. Good afternoon, Frank. I hope that you are doing well, and I hope that you are preparing well for your examination. Thank you very much on YouTube. I see some of you smashing the like button as well. Share the video. Let us together reach as many students as possible watching this video and going through this if you are writing corporate reporting and writing financial reporting. So let me share my screen with you and let's go straight up into our discussion for the day as we prepare for the examination. I see some of you guys joining. Welcome to the live stream today. We're looking at consolidated financial statements, critical topic for corporate reporting and financial reporting students, and discussing what it is that we need to look out for. Wisdom GH, I see you on Facebook saying that you are watching from Kumasi. All right, so shout out. We have a lot of people coming in from Kumasi. So share the video, give us a thumbs up on the video as well. I also see on Facebook, Benjamin Tavia said, watching from Springtex. Great job, sir. Always a pleasure Benjamin, thank you very much for taking time to join the live stream. Uh, Janice Boafo said, watching from University of Ghana. Good afternoon, sir. And that is on YouTube. Good afternoon, Janice Boafo. Thank you for joining the live stream. Smash the like button and share the video. Let us reach as many students as possible. So before I get into consolidated financial statement, please stay with me real quick. Let me go through with you the Chief Examiner's report for the ICA November 2020 examination and a couple of things that the examiner raised concern about, which if you are writing corporate reporting is critical for you, and if you are writing financial reporting is critical for you. So if you look at what I have on my screen here, it is the Chief Examiner's report for the ICA November 2020 examination. And as always, the examiner raised a couple of concerns that I want to bring to your notice as we move ahead with our discussion. So it says that the performance of candidates was below average compared to last sitting. Few candidates exhibited a high sense of preparedness and a good mastery of the subject, scoring over 60%. The performance of most candidates, however, demonstrated lack of adequate preparation for the paper. Majority of candidates scored below 35%. Meanwhile, the questions fell within the approved syllabus of the institute, and mark distribution was fair, in line with the syllabus grade. So what are we seeing here? What we are seeing here is that many of the candidates scored below 35%. That is not a good thing. And the examiner alluded to the fact that it is the lack of adequate preparation. That is why students are not working well or passing the exams. But look at the pass rate here. That is what I'm interested in. The examiner said the pass rate for this paper was 23%. 23%. What it means is that if 100 people sat for the financial reporting exams, 23 people passed out of the 100 people. What it means is that if you're not taking financial reporting seriously, you're going to fail the exams. So that is why it is very critical for you to understand exactly what is going on and how it is in that case. But what are the notable weaknesses? Why is it that only 23% of the candidates who sat for the November 2019 examination actually passed the exams? Why is that? Why is that? So stay with me and let's look at some of the thoughts that the chief examiner shared with students. One, it says that abysmal, look at the word the examiner used, abysmal understanding of international financial reporting standards. that is critical. All right, I keep on telling you, students, most students either did not attempt questions on IFRSs or provided answers with no bearing on IFRSs. Given that financial reporting is all about IFRSs, the examiner should consider assigning more weight to IFRS cases in future exams. So what am I saying? If you want to pass your financial reporting exams, if you want to pass your corporate reporting exam, at the foundation, as the basis, is the international financial reporting standards, the accounting standards. You must spend time to understand them. Because one of the things students do is that, every financial reporting and corporate reporting student, for some reason, it's literally crazy about consolidated financial statement. And they're like, console. And they go and they're able to answer the console, but they fail the exams because console is going to require time. And so in my class, the way I teach this paper is consolidation is the last thing I teach. Because one of the things the examiner raised concern about is even the order in which students answer the question. So if you think that, FR is about console is 20 marks. Corporate reporting is about console is 20 marks. So instead of sitting down there, wasting time on consolidation, you've got to make sure that you build a certain order in how you learn the subject. So what am I saying? What I'm telling you is this. Look at what is going on here. Look at financial reporting. The May 2020 examination, November 2020 exams, these were the standards that came. These were the standards that the examiner examined in the November 2020 examination. These were the standards. Look at it. Look at it. Now, when I say these were the standards, these were the question 2, the 20-mark area standards, IAS 37, IAS 36, IAS 23, borrowing cost, IAS 40, investment property. Then when it comes to the single entity financial statement, you know, I told you that when it comes to single entity financial statement, each footnote is actually an accounting standard. Each footnote is actually an accounting standard. So the footnotes that the examiner brought, these were the standards that were in the footnote. IFRS 15, revenue from contract with customers. IFRS 9, financial instrument. IFRS 3, business combination. This was actually in the question 5, I think so, in that case. IAS 12, income tax. IAS 16, property, plant, and equipment. IAS 2, inventories. So look at the number of standards that were in the exam hall. Look at the number of standards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 standards. 10 hoping standards. So please, if you're going into the financial reporting exams, 23% of students pass the exams. That's not good. That is not encouraging. That is not something that you need to really look out for. So if you're going to position yourself strategically to pass the exams, then what I want you to do, very importantly, is to focus on the accounting standards. And that is why I keep on telling you guys all the time that the way you learn financial reporting is to first look at the issue about the standards. Okay, so you spend time to look at the standards. When you finish, you come to the single entity, because the way you be successful in the single entity is if you understand the standards. When you finish with that, you go to the ratios and interpretation of ratios. When you finish with that, then you can look at the question 5, which is going to be the theory area. Ethics, conceptual framework, regulatory framework. Then let the consolidated financial statement be the last question you answer. But most of you, when you get to the exam hall, writing financial reporting, what you go and answer is console. And you spend all your time to answer the console and forgo the international financial reporting standards. Look at the standards examined in November 2020. In November 2020, look at the standards that were examined. And even this one, the chief examiner is saying that more should be brought going into the future. What it then means is that going into the future, there is going to be more standards, more focus, because at the back of financial reporting is your ability to understand the accounting standards. So that is one of the problems. That is one of the problems. So you want to make sure that you position yourself strategically, you position yourself in such a manner that as you are going into the exam hall, you don't just focus on console, because in the past I have had students where I'm teaching financial reporting or I'm teaching corporate reporting and they are like, Nhyira, when are we doing console? And I'm like, we will do console because I'm doing the standards, I'm looking at the ratios, I'm looking at the single entity, I'm looking at the ethics and the conceptual framework, and I want to do console last. And they're like, yo, I need to do console as fast as possible. I'm like, you cannot do that. So please, if you want to be out of the failure zone and you want to be part of the 23%, between 20 to 25% of the students will pass the exams in the May 2021 examination, all other things being equal statistically, then please take time to understand the international financial reporting standards. Take time to understand the international financial reporting standards. This is very, very critical. I cannot overemphasize this. I keep on telling you this all this while. If you're a follower of my work, one of the things I keep on talking to you about is the international financial reporting standards. Look at the standards that were examined by the examiner. Crucial standards, 10 standards. So if I tell you that focus on the standards, it's not that we say that you should not focus on other things. No, that doesn't mean don't do consolidation. I don't celebrate console. It's one of the topics that I don't even disregard. I don't respect in the whole subject because it's something I do last. Console will take you a lot of time because it has a lot of things there. But in the exam hall, we are positioning you in such a way that you will be able to answer questions in a certain order. That is why you must learn in a certain order to increase your chances of passing the exams. So focus on the international financial reporting standards. That will help you to do the single entity very well. From there, look at your ratios. From there, look at the theory areas. Let console be the last thing. Because in the past, the chief examiner has raised a concern that students are able to solve the consolidated financial statements questions well, but they still fail the exams. Some students scored even 3 marks. sorry, 3%. Some students scored below 20%. I'm not saying this. This is from the chief examiner's report. So if you don't want to be part of that category, you don't want to be part of the people who are going to be scoring below the marks expected to pass, then please make sure that you raise the game. Make sure that you raise the game. So that is one of the challenges or concerns that the chief examiner raised about the examination, a baseline understanding of the International Financial Reporting Standards. Then another thing that the examiner raised concern about is the issue in relation to standard of language and legibility of handwriting was pitiful. Look at the choices of the examiner's word. Abysmal, pitiful. Like, it's like the examiner's heart is broken, literally. It's like, yo, I mean, he can say anything, but it's pitiful. The language and the eligibility of the handwriting was pitiful. And this is something I keep on telling my students in class. So when I give my students like this assignments, one of the things I do is their handwriting. I keep on talking to you guys about professional presentation. That is very, very critical. Professional presentation. You cannot overemphasize that if you are going into the exam hall. Professional presentation is very, very critical. The order in which you arrange your things, the order in which you arrange your answers, very, very critical. Your handwriting, the language you use, the way you do the explanation. Sometimes people will say, oh, Nhyira, I have the idea, but how to put the idea together is difficult. You don't know it. Just tell us you don't know it and stop making some noises that we don't want to understand. You just don't know it. Okay, and the reason why a lot of you cannot speak in the exam hall, cannot interpret, cannot write out well, it's because you lack information. Okay, this day and age, students aren't reading as much as they are supposed to read, so they lack the vocabularies, the words, the explanation, the English. So you are limited on the choices of words, and so you see that when they are doing something like ratio interpretation, they keep on repeating the same words, they keep on repeating the same phrases, like, oh, the performance of the company was good. Then they come to another ratio. The performance of the company was good. You see that the same phrase, the same tenses are being repeated. But if you want to increase your chances of passing the examination, then you need to learn to be able to know how to structure yourself up, how to structure your presentation, and how to work on your language. And if you're somebody that doesn't have a good handwriting, take time to write and improve on your handwriting. Because if it becomes very challenging for the examiner to read what you are writing, that means you're going to fail at the end of the day. That means you're going to fail at the end of the day. So that is also another concern. So abysmal performance in the financial reporting standards. 2, the language and legibility of handwriting was pitiful. 3 was there was insufficient evidence of sufficient evidence of poor time management by most candidates. That's what I keep on saying. Because the reason why students suffer this is the way they answer the question. They do console first. I don't know who preached that. I don't know who propagated that. If you are going to write financial reporting exams or corporate reporting exam, answer console first. I just don't know who propagated that. And it's like everybody writing these subjects goes for that. But you cannot do that. You cannot do that, because if you don't order your steps very well, order your thoughts very well, order the approach to answering the question very well, you may end up failing the exams at the end of the day. You may end up failing the exam. So students are not able to allocate time properly to the questions well. So if you are going into the exams in the May 2021 examination, make sure that you work on yourself. So one of the things I tell my students is this: solve questions under time. Solve questions under time. Put a stop clock down. If you are solving the questions, put yourself down. Time yourself. Nobody can hold you accountable. You need to be able to hold yourself accountable if you really want to pass these exams. If not, you're going to screw it up. And that is very, very critical in relation to that. Then some candidates presented their solutions in ink and pencil. I don't know why. You took pencil to the exam hall and you are writing in pencil. You see some of the problems some of the students have. Some of you, I don't know why. In the house when you are learning, you learn with pencil. Then you take the pencil to the exam hall, and then if you're writing the answer in the exam hall, you're writing with pencil. Because in your house, you write with pencil so that you can clean it. If you make a mistake, you clean it. Some people are like, oh, Nhyira, I don't want to see mistake in my book. Oh, so you want your book to be JJ. Don't you know that mistakes are how you become more successful? So you take pen, you solve a question, you made a mistake, cancel it out, then put the right thing down. Now, if you come back and you are learning it, your mind will click that, oh, this was the mistake I made. Then you avoid it, and then you look at the right thing that has to be done. But some of you, and people carry it to the exam hall, writing in ink and in pencil. Who should mark the pencil? Are we in KG2? Are we in KG2 here? Oh, come on, tell me. Are we not learning how to write? So please, I don't know why you would take pencil to the exam hall, but if you should take pencil to the exam hall, make sure that you are not using the pencil to answer the question. Very, very critical in there. So that is it about financial reporting. Three or four things the examiner raised concern about. Four things. One, the abysmal understanding of accounting standards. Make sure you work on that. Two, the language and legibility of handwriting. Three, time allocation, or what you will know as time management in the exam hall. And then four, you make sure that you stay away from writing with pencils in the answer booklet. So that is the issue about that. Now, let me touch a little bit on corporate reporting. It's almost the same problem because corporate reporting, the pass rate was about 25%. Okay. So financial reporting, 23%, corporate reporting, like 25%. I mean, the pass rate was not that encouraging, but again, the examiner raised a couple of concerns here, and it was almost the same thing in that case. Candidates' weakest point was application of IFRS in the preparation of consolidated financial statements. Boom. Boom. Application of IFRSs. So the accounting standards, I don't know how many times I should scream this out so that you understand that the accounting standards are the bedrock. I've seen people, when they start learning corporate reporting or financial reporting, the first thing they do is to do console. The first thing they do is to start solving questions on the single entity and cash flow, profit or loss. You cannot do that. You must come back and know the foundation. You must come back and understand the basis. You must come back and understand the foundation of financial reporting. And the foundation of financial reporting is the International Financial Reporting Standards. Please, if you are writing corporate reporting and you are writing financial reporting, go back to the drawing board and ask yourself, how many accounting standards do I understand now? Ask yourself that and spend enough time to do accounting standards. In my lectures, financial reporting class, we spend a lot of the time, about close to 8 weeks, doing the accounting standards. Close to 8 weeks doing accounting standards. And sometimes students are like, hey, Nhyira, when are we going to do console? And I'm saying, relax. Console, I'm not excited about consolidated financial statement. I'm excited about the standards. I'm excited about ratios. I'm excited about the theories. Let's leave console somewhere else. It will come later on. But are you strong in the financial reporting standards? So corporate reporting, one of the reasons why students are not working well, passing corporate reporting exams, per the examiner's report, is that the weakest point was the application of IFRSs in the preparation of the consolidated financial statement. That's critical. That's critical. Then there is also weaknesses observed in lack of appropriate knowledge, bad strategy in use of time, wrong order in which the questions were attempted. This was what I was telling you about. Wrong order in which the questions were attempted. Wrong order in which the questions were attempted. You need to answer questions in order. Like corporate reporting, this is what I tell my students. Stay away from consolidated financial statement. Look at what came. This is the consolidated financial statement. Look at the notes. It's match, it's bunch. Stay away from that. Go to the question 2, the standards. If you are strong in the standards, you can answer the standards there. Go to question 3, ethics. I tell you about this all the time. Ethics is going to be there. You answer that. Go to question 4, the ratios. You can compute the ratio and interpret the ratio if you are strong in it. So before you come to console, you have worked like 70%, which if you are generous to the examiner and you even give the examiner 15 or 20 of that, you are still going to pass. So that if you do some small workings on the consolidated financial statement, boom, you are gone. Because some of you think that consolidated financial statement is about extracting the financial statement. So you see that some people, when they are answering console, they will rush and go and put the pro forma down. Do you think we mark pro forma? The examiner doesn't mark pro forma. For your information, the examiner does not mark pro forma. So it is about ordering yourself and answering the question in a certain order to increase your chances of passing the examination. That was one of the concerns that the examiner raised in relation to that. So you want to make sure that you avoid that. And I will tell you that. If you're weak in the accounting standards, you're going to fail. If you don't work on your timing, you're going to fail the exams. If you don't work on the order in which the question has to be answered, and you still keep a certain level of mindset of the fact that console, you're going to screw up and fail the exams. I tell my students all the time, I don't want you to fail the exams. I want you to pass the exams. So in order for you to pass the exam, there is an order in which you have to answer the questions, and you have to stay away from certain questions when you get to the exam hall, irrespective of how confident you think you are in such questions. Very, very critical. So accounting standards, order in which questions were attempted, lack of effective time management skills. We've spoken about that. Some students numbered their questions wrongly. I mean, come on now. You are professionals. You number your questions wrongly, meaning that you were answering question 2, but you wrote there as question 3, or you didn't even number at all. You got to be serious here. You've got to be serious. And all these things happen when you're under pressure. When you're under pressure, you misbehave. Because some of you, when you get to the exam hall, the first thing you want to do is consolidated financial statement. So you spend time, before you realize 1.5 hours gone. Then now you start failing. You see, immediately you start panicking in the exam hall, you have failed. Like I tell my students all the time this. If you don't order your steps well, if you don't order your timing well, when you start panicking in the exam hall and you're not able to mature and control that panic, you will fail the exams hands down, even before you come out of the exams. Because you start freaking out, you start making errors, you start making mistakes. And even if you read the questions, you don't understand. Why? Because you are full of panic, you are full of fear, and you are confused, you are perplexed, you don't even know what the heck is going on. So you want to make sure that you don't work under pressure. Some candidates had very poor handwriting, which made it very difficult to read the answers properly. Very, very poor handwriting. So for those of you who went to Saito like me, who are not having good handwriting like me, work on your handwriting. Very, very critical. So if the examiner finds it difficult to read your answer, it means we're not going to mark. So probably you are making sense, but it's out. Now, the theory areas will be the ethics, okay? The interpretation of financial statements, boom. And even some of the financial statement preparation itself could be problematic. So if you are going to work yourself out, make sure that you look at that. Then some candidates answer the same question on several consecutive pages without cross references. I would say, if you are confused in the exam, or these are some of the things you do. Answering the same questions on several pages. They don't even know they've answered the question already. Then they are answering. Then they are wasting time, keke. Again, because you are under pressure. Again, because you are under pressure. So what am I saying? What am I telling you today? I'm saying that in order for you to really pass the exams, put yourself in that position. Make sure you understand the accounting standards. Now, corporate reporting, some of the standards that the examiner asked about were these. So you got IAS 36 in there. You got IFRS 16 coming in there. You got IAS 12 coming in there. You got IFRS 9 regular customer financial instruments coming in there. You got IFRS 3 business combination coming in there. You got 10 marks on ethics. Now, in financial reporting, there was about 6 marks or so on ethics as well. But in corporate reporting, there's a 10 mark on ethics waiting for you in the exam hall. So what am I saying? What am I saying? To pass the corporate reporting exams or the financial reporting exam, this is how I want you to study. Listen carefully. Now, let's start with financial reporting. How do I want you to study? Build your knowledge on the accounting standards. Wherever you are attending lectures, make sure you understand the accounting standards. If you happen to be part of our lectures, fine. You know that you have access to all of the standards already on our portal, and we'll be going through that. And from this Saturday, we are starting with a Saturday, Sunday question solving on the standards and those things. From this Saturday and Sunday, and we are doing that for the next 7 weeks. And that is that is in addition to the lecture that you are going to be having normally, and in addition to the lecture videos already available on our portal. And you don't pay anything extra for this. It is the same fee of 390 Ghana cedi. We don't charge anything extra for this. And we are doing all of these things to enable students to be in a better position to pass the examination. So the first thing I want you to do is to be strong in the international accounting standards. When you're strong in the standards, then you can come to single entity financial statement. Because like I say all the time, each footnote is actually an accounting standard. Each footnote is an accounting standard. So if you understand the accounting standards, then when you come to the cash flow statement, when you come to the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, when you come to the statement of changes in equity, and you come to the statement of financial position, you will excel there. Why? Because you are solidified, you understand the accounting standards. Then number 3, I want you to go to ratios. Know how to calculate the ratios and interpret the ratios. This is how you need to study. Once you are done with the ratios, in financial reporting, there are some theories there, like ethics. Make sure you look at that very well. Then the issue about conceptual framework and regulatory framework. Make sure that you look that very well. So that is how I want you to study. Okay, I don't care what you have been told or what you've heard somewhere, but that is how you need to study, and that's how you pass the exams. So financial reporting standards, single entity, you do the ratios, then you come to the theories. Then consolidation will be the last thing. Consolidation will be the last thing you answer in the exam hall, as well as in your studies. Because by the time you reach console, all you do is to do the workings, period. I tell my students this all the time. All you need to do is to do the workings. You don't have to extract financial statements about consolidation to get all the marks. If you're able to go through all the footnotes, do all your workings without extracting the financial statements, you will get a higher mark. Because if you go and put the pro forma financial statement down, you ain't going to get anything for that. You are not going to get anything for that. And for your information, the footnotes in the consolidated financial statement are all accounting standards. So you see why I said the first thing you are supposed to do is to do the international financial reporting standards. That is it. That is it. So if you're writing financial reporting, that is how I want you to go by it. That is how I want you to look at it. Focus on the standards. Come to single entity. Do ratios. Visit the theories. Ethics. There's a question always on ethics waiting for you. Look at the conceptual framework and let the console be the last thing that you do in relation to that. Right, so I'm going to give you corporate reporting as well, but let me look at a couple of comments in there. I see some of you guys joining on YouTube as well as on Facebook. Welcome to the live stream. Smash the like button on the video when you join the live stream. You are getting some value, and share the video. Let us reach as many students as possible joining the live stream. Most importantly, subscribe to the channel if you have not. That way you get the notification when I go live and release new content, so I can assist you in order for you to prepare well for the examination. So I see some comments coming in. Let me read the comments and I give you the corporate reporting strategy. Then we begin with the day's discussion, consolidated financial statement. I hope you are getting some value. Thank you very much. I see some of you smashing the like button on YouTube. Thank you very, very much. Right, so let's see some comments coming in. Thank you for the thumbs up on Facebook as well. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Share the video as well. If you know there are some colleagues who have to be part of the live stream, share the video with them. Let them get the video and watch the playback later on, because it is going to help them. Okay, so Wallace Walanyo say hi. Hi, sir. Watching from Accra. Okay, Rosalind Kessie said, good afternoon, sir. I'm watching from University of Ghana. All right. Thank you very much. I see some University of Ghana people coming inside. Thank you very much. Ronnie said, good afternoon, sir. It's great being back. Very, very important. Jenny said, Rosalind Cassie, you are here too. Okay, so you know each other, right? You're all from the University of Ghana. Thank you for joining. It's really a pleasure that I'm able to assist you to be able to prepare well for your examination. And most importantly, pass your exams and take your life to the next level. Osai Andrew said, good evening, sir. Thank you for the clarifications. Always a pleasure. Osborne Nate said, catching you live from Tech. Okay, that's great. That's great. So, I mean, we got universities surrounding us. Benny's Barco said, hey, Rosalind. Okay. All right. Benisa. Edwin Barr said, I'm late today. Yep. Oh, but I was talking to you guys about the thing. Ahaz Timothy said, please, Nhyira, how much is the weekend classes? It's 390 Ghana cedis per paper. Like all our courses, 390 Ghana cedis per paper. So you can visit NhyiraPremiumUniversity.com. The link is pinned to the comment or in the description, or just go to NhyiraPremium.com, and you can enroll and be part of the session. This 390 Ghana cedis gives you access to the ebooks, the question kit. You will join our weekly live Zoom sessions and also join the question and answer sessions that we'll be doing on Saturdays and Sunday for the various subjects in that case. And all that is just 390 Ghana cedis per paper. So Ahaz Timothy, you asked about the price. It's 390 Ghana cedis for all our courses. Aaron Ofori said, Aaron from NUST. Okay, that's awesome. Piniperi said, good evening, sir. Nice being under your tutelage. You are seriously adding value, sir, from Lagos, Nigeria. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining us, Piniperi. In case you've not subscribed, make sure that everybody subscribe to the channel and become a VIP member as we continue. On Facebook, I see Nezri Ekta said from Bangladesh. Okay, that is awesome. Adepa Innocent said watching from Ayomso. Okay, thank you very, very much. Edward Ban said for where? Which one is there for where? Edwin Ban, clarify your comments and then let me know what exactly you're talking about. Clarify your comment, let me know what exactly you're talking about. Okay, so corporate reporting, let's go. For those of you writing corporate reporting, note that this is how I want you to study corporate reporting, and this is how I want you to answer the corporate reporting in the exam. Now, when I say I'm not just talking but I'm talking to you per the experience of what I understand of the exams and the examiner's mindset, and also how I think that you need to structure yourself to actually pass the exams. So, corporate reporting students, always, accounting standards will be the bedrock. That is the foundation. From the accounting standards, you go to the ratios, evaluation of financial statements. Go there. So after you finish all the ratios, go to the evaluation of financial statements. Know how to calculate the ratios, know how to interpret the ratios, and you should have a guide for this. Once you do this, you go to the theory aspect of your syllabus, and that is talking about ethics and talking about some issues in relation to conceptual framework and regulatory framework. Now, remember that if you are doing corporate reporting, there are some standards that are exclusively on level 3 that you need to pay attention to. That is something like IFRS 2, share-based payment, very, very critical, and IAS 19, employee benefit. Now, even though employee benefit is also in level 2 corporate reporting, financial reporting, it is more here in corporate reporting in that case. So you want to make sure that you pay attention to that. The one standard you have to pay attention to is IFRS 9, financial instrument. The examiner is always excited about this standard and will be visiting you there in that case. Then segment reporting or operating reporting, integrated reporting, all of those things are something you need to understand critically. So you do the standards, you come to the evaluation of financial statements, you look at the theories, the ethics, then the conceptual framework, regulatory framework. When you finish, then you come to the specialized transactions. Specialized transactions. This is what you are dealing with: business valuation, okay, and then corporate restructuring and financial reorganization. Business valuation, corporate restructuring, and financial reorganization. The examiner is going to alternate. So one of these will be in the exam hall in that case. So you need to understand it. So you do ratios, you do the standards first, you come to the evaluation of financial statement, you touch on the theories, you come to the specialized transactions, then the last thing should be consolidated financial statements. So this is what you will do last in the exam hall and as you are studying as well for the exams. Now, I'm saying this because of what like I said, I understand about the examiner. And I know that like I'm teaching people from various places and you attend lectures and your lecturers also tell you something else or something that may contradict with what I'm saying. What I'm just saying is the recommendation based on the chief examiner's report. So based on the chief examiner's reports, the problem is the order in which students answer the questions. The problem is accounting standards. So if that is the problem, then if I want to save myself from failing the exams, then I need to reorder, re-strategize, because the best person to take advice from is the chief examiner and not Nhyira Premium. So these are not my words. These are not what I think you are supposed to do. This is what I know you are supposed to do as per the directives from the chief examiner's report. And that is very, very critical in that case. So that is how corporate reporting to you are supposed to structure yourself and you're supposed to learn it in order to increase your chances of passing the examination. All right, so I see some comments coming in. Abdul Bima said, more needs to be done on the IFRSs. Yes, very, very critical. You need to do more on the IFRSs. On the YouTube channel, we have a lot of videos on the accounting standards. And for those of you who want to go the extra mile, you can enroll in our courses, get access to all of the standards on our online study portal. Join our weekend sessions that we are going to be doing, looking at the standards, solving questions. All of these are 390 Ghana cedis per paper as well. Okay, Ahas Timothy said, where is the classes going to be? Online, is it the same as the weekly classes? Ahas Timothy, it's strictly online. No, this is the additional, this is it. This is what we do. For instance, our regular class is financial reporting. It's on Fridays. That's our regular class at 6 p.m. to 9. Corporate reporting, CR, is on Saturdays. That is 9 to 12. Okay, so that's the regular class. Now, the additional class that we are going to be doing, or we are starting this Saturday, is from 6 p.m. No, I think 6:30 to 9 p.m. That is an additional session we are having and for various accounting standards. And there is a timetable as well out for that. If you are part of our group, we will be able to get that. So that is the issue there. And I think Edwin is also asking of our contact. You can call on WhatsApp 050-114-9296, 050-114-9296. If you are outside Ghana, you add +233 because that is the country code. In that way, the 0 will not be there in that case. So 050-114-9296. You can also visit NhyiraPremium.com, and at 390 Ghana cedis per paper, you can enroll in the full course, get access to all of the content you need, the questions kits you need, and you'll be able to have me as your personalized mentor as I assist you in order for you to prepare well for your examination and most importantly, pass the exams in that case. Pass the exams in that case. Okay, so let me know. Are there any questions for me? What are your thoughts on what I've shared with you? What are your thoughts? And one of the things the examiner raised concern about, let me see if I can find it. I think one of the things the examiner raised concern about was about the fact that many students do self-study. That was one of the concerns the examiner raised as I was reading the report yesterday. Is that in corporate reporting or financial reporting? I think so, something like that. So self-study. I don't know who you are and how you study, but self-study, you've got to be careful about it. All right. You know, some of you are waiting for 2 weeks so that you attend all manner of intervention classes and go and pay 50 Ghana cedis and think you can pass the exams. It doesn't work that way. You don't pass corporate reporting, you don't pass financial reporting with 2 weeks intervention class. Intervention classes are for people who have been studying all this while. Intervention classes are for students who have been studying all this while. So please, for those of you who are doing self-study and all of those things, I would recommend that it will be better for you to get join a class somewhere. Look for a class closer to you, or look for where they are offering online classes that will be comfortable for you, and do it. If you, I'm not asking you to learn under me or to learn with us. No, but attend lectures. Attend lectures. It's very, very critical, because you see, no matter what it is, the lecturer is going to tell you something that will save you in the exam hall. No matter what it is. Maybe you think that, oh, I'm a shark, I can study on my own. The lecturer is going to tell you something that will save you a lot of time. That will save you a lot of time, because the lecturer, 9 out of 10, has the roadmap and understand the exams and will be able to guide you better. So please, don't do self-study. Please don't wait 2 weeks to the exams and attend all manner of intervention classes. And we've had students already asking about our executive revision masterclass. Our executive revision masterclass is not open to the public. It is strictly for our students, because it is time where I spend time with my students, talk with them, deal with their personalized problem with them, have a one-on-one session with them, and assist them to be able to prepare well for the exam. So our executive revision masterclass, for instance, is not open to the public. It is strictly for our students. But there will be a lot of intervention classes that will be organized across the country, and people will be attending. But the intervention class will not solve the problem. It is your ability to regularly go through the courses, regularly go through the content, practice questions at the time, work on your handwriting, and work on the structure in which the syllabus is done. So that is what you need to understand about it. So that's it about the exam and how you need to study and how you need to structure your things. Any questions for me real quick? Any questions? I see some of you jumping on. You are welcome to the live stream. Comment in the chat box any questions you have for me. What do you think I should share more on the channel relating to corporate reporting and financial reporting? What do you think you are lacking? If you have any questions, you can put it in the chat box, and I'll be going to be commenting and answering them for you real quick in that case. Okay. So let's go into our discussion, and that is going to be consolidated financial statements. Consolidated financial statements. Consolidated financial statements. Now, this is a done deal 20-mark area that the examiner is going to be visiting us with in each examination sitting that we have to pay attention to. But the scope is different to some extent for financial reporting and then for corporate reporting. For financial reporting, we are dealing with the simple group structure, but in corporate reporting, we are dealing with the complex group structure. Now, when we talk about a simple group structure, we mean that we are dealing with a parent and a subsidiary plus probably an associate coming into the picture, and we are dealing with a simple group, simple scenarios. But with complex group, we are dealing with parents, with subsidiary coming into the picture, dealing with associates, as well as joint ventures coming in. We may be dealing with foreign subsidiaries coming into the picture that we need to talk about, we need to look out for in that level, in that case. So that is the issue in here. So, but then if you are doing corporate reporting, the basics, the foundation actually cut across in that case. So let me take you straight up to my slide and then share with you this. So this is an ACCA book that I use as well some of these things. That you get this also as part of the extra materials when you enroll with us, because this is also another material that is available. Nana Kwatin on Facebook is saying, please, can you repeat the strategies for answering the FR questions, sir? Okay, so what I said was that you need to look at the standards very well. Okay, so Kwatin, I mentioned that you need to look at the standards. That's what I said. So you go with the standards first. And before you go to the exam hall, you need to be able to be strong in the accounting standards. So you need to go with the standards, then the single entity second, and then ratios are going to be third that you are go for based on your understanding. Then the theory areas, you go there because ethics and conceptual framework is going to be there for you to answer on. Then console should be the last thing that you go in for. Vincent Buster said, good evening, Nhyira. I love so much this topic. Thanks a lot. Always a pleasure. So Nana Kwatin, that is it about the financial reporting. The IFRSs, the single entity, the ratios, the theories, ethics, and conceptual framework, and then console is going to be last. And like I told you, my concern is about the console, the workings. Don't be in hurry to go and extract any financial statements. Just work and focus on the workings, and you should be good in relation to that. You should be good in relation to that. So let's go to the ratios, consolidated financial statement. Now let's start a discussion with the standards that we are going to be using in this discussion as we continue with the consolidated financial statement. So you can see from my slide there, the standards that we are going to be looking out for, and we're going to be diving deeper into these standards from tomorrow, God willing, as we begin the journey well in that case. So what are the standards? IFRS 3, business combination. IFRS 13, fair value measurement. IFRS 10, consolidated financial statements. IAS 8, investment in associate and joint ventures. IFRS 11, joint arrangement. And then IFRS 12, disclosure of interest in other entities. Disclosure of interest in other entities. So when it comes to consolidated financial statements, these are the standards that we are going to be playing along with, because the rules that governs how goodwill is calculated, the rules that governs how post-acquisition profit is determined, the rule that governs how we will deal with the provision for unrealized profit, the intra-group transactions, dealing with sale of goods from subsidiary to parent, from parent to subsidiary, all are enshrined in these standards. The way we value non-controlling interest, if the parent entity doesn't own 100% of the subsidiary, is also enshrined in these standards in that case. So that is what you need to understand in that. So IFRS 3, business combination. IFRS 13, fair value measurement. IFRS 10, consolidated financial statements. IAS 8, investment in associate and joint ventures. IFRS 11, joint arrangement. IFRS 12, disclosure of interest in other entities. Disclosure of interest in other entities. So these are the standards that we're going to be playing along with as we move ahead into our discussion. But even though these are standards, we need to know when to use words and what each of them actually do for us as an organization or as an entity in that case, because we need to know exactly what is going on in here. Now, so let's begin the journey with the objective of the IFRS 3. What is the objective of the IFRS 3 standards? Now, the objective of the standard is to improve the relevance, reliability, and comparability of information in that information that a reporting entity provides in its financial statement about business combination. So the objective of this standard is to You know that we have what we call qualitative characteristics of financial statements. So relevance, reliability, and comparability. Now, relevance and reliability has to do with faithful representation. So to enhance faithful representation of financial statements as well as comparability of financial statements, IFRS 3 revised was introduced in relation to looking at that very well. Now, to accomplish that objective of enhancing faithful representation and comparability of financial statements, the IFRS 3 established the following principles and requirements for how the acquirer, one, recognizes and measures in its financial statement the identified assets acquired, treatment of liability, and treatment of non-controlling interest. So we're going to be looking at all of that as we continue. The way goodwill is treated, and then when there is a gain from the purchases, how it will be treated. Because remember, if the cash or if the consideration is greater than the net asset of the business, that results into goodwill. Okay, if the consideration is greater than the net asset of the business, that results into goodwill. But if the consideration is less than the net asset of the business, that results into gain or profits on the acquisition, and that has to be added to group retained earnings if you are preparing the statement of profit or loss, or it will be added to other income if you are preparing the statement of group retained earning if you are preparing the statement of financial position, and then it will be added to other income if you are preparing the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, consolidated statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. And then the last thing that the IFRS seeks to do is to determine what information to disclose to enable users to evaluate the financial statement. Now, the examiner can throw a question about IFRS 3 to you. For your information, you must know about that very well in that case, because the examiner has asked that before. So that is why I'm taking you through this. If you look at what is here, financial reporting, I think there was a question about IFRS 3. I don't know, but let me just see if I can. Okay, it was under IFRS 10. IFRS 10. So some of these standards the examiner will, and that is 5 marks about IFRS 10, the definition of control and indicate the 4 circumstances where an entity can gain control. And that is about financial reporting. If we take you to corporate reporting also, you realize that the examiner brought some questions under this. Look at it. For 5 marks, IFRS 3. The examiner is asking questions about IFRS 3. So he says that explain the justification for undertaking fair value exercise when a parent acquires a controlling stake in a subsidiary. So again, IFRS 3 is coming in here. So console is very, very critical. Yes, but the standards surrounding it is something that you need to pay very close attention to in relation to that. So these are the standards that we're going to be discussing and taking into consideration as we build our knowledge. Any questions, please put it in the chat box if you have any questions as we continue with our discussion. Now, the next thing we want to look at is some key definitions. So before we get into how goodwill is calculated, how we treat intragroup trading, how we deal with purchases and sales between the parent and the sub, there are key terminologies that we need to understand. What is control? What is an associate? What is significant influence? What is business combination? What is the equity method? What is fair value? All these key definitions or terminologies are very, very critical for us to know. And I'm going to be touching on these, God willing, from tomorrow as we dive into it and then continue with our discussion in relation to that. So I'm going to be concluding around here today for time constraints, and God willing, tomorrow we're going to be continuing with the Consolidated Financial Statement Part 2, where we look at the key definitions and begin the journey on how we can obtain control, begin the journey on how we can value non-controlling interest. We will look at how we deal with the net asset at the date of acquisition, at the date of the reporting date. Then we'll deal with the issue about the allocation of the post-acquisition profit or loss, treatment of impairment, treatment of intragroup trading, treatment of goods in transit, cash in transit. All of these things are transactions or items that take place between a parent and subsidiary in the post-acquisition period. And then we were going to be mapping it up with a corporate reporting understanding where we deal with some things like foreign subsidiary or dealing with changes in ownership or step acquisition. So what happens when a parent company sells a portion of its ownership in the subsidiary but doesn't lose control? Or what happens when they sell a portion of the subsidiary but loses control but retains some of the shares for significant influence? How do we account for all of these? The way we account for all of these are all based on the understanding we have on the standards as per IFRS 10, IFRS 5, and the other standards that pertains to consolidated financial statement. So that is what you need to understand well in that case. If there are any questions, please put it in the chat box for me, and then let me answer them real quick as we wrap up for the day's discussion. And thank you very much for joining the live stream. It's always a pleasure coming your way. I think it's really a privilege to be able to assist you in order for you to prepare well for your examination, pass your exams, and most importantly, take your life to the next level. Desmond Danso said, good evening, Nhyira. Hope you are doing fine today. Yes, Desmond, I'm doing well, and I hope that you are also doing well. Ahaz Timothy said, you are done for today. Yes, we are done for today's discussion on YouTube. God willing, tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. GMT, I'll be coming your way again as we continue with a consolidated financial statement. Like I said, if you want to enroll and study directly under my mentorship, enroll in our full course, get access to the lecture videos, the ebooks, the question kits, join our live Zoom sessions, and join our live Q&A sessions as well, and have me as your personalized mentor, you visit NhyiraPremium.com and enroll in the full course at 390 Ghana cedis per paper, whatever course you're doing, and get access to all of the content. And let me assist you, hold your hands, and be able to prepare for your examination. Most importantly, keep studying every day, keep working hard, because it is a brick by brick, it is laying it gradually. That is how you will become actually successful at the end of the day. So thank you very much for joining the live stream from across the country, Nigeria. So Janice, Wallace, Rosalind, Ronnie, Osborne, Barco, Edwin, Ahaz, Timothy, Edward, and Vincent, Desmond, Frank Norte, Wisdom, Benjamin, Nezri, Adepa, Innocent, Abdul. Come on, all of you guys, thank you very much for joining the live stream. And thank you very much, you guys who gave us a thumbs up on the video. We really appreciate that. And thank you very much for those of you who also share the video so we could reach as many students as possible. Continue to support the channel, continue to be part of ours as we build this community and make it a center where students across the country, students across the continent, and students across the globe can come and get access to the content that they need as far as they are studying accounting and finance, either at the first degree level, at the master's level, or doing their professional qualification programs, ACCA, ICAG, CIMA, or what CPA or CPA, CFA in that case. So thank you very much. Always a pleasure coming your way. I'll catch you same time tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. GMT as we continue with our discussion. Remember to keep on working hard, keep on studying, stay safe, and stay blessed. Bye-bye.